he went through a lot of those regulatory signs. So if you go on to page 25 of your driver's guide, those are the 6 main classifications that he talked about. They are the main categories in which actions are prohibited. I call it the Ghostbuster sign, but the red circle with the line through it, that's prohibitive, right? Actions are not permitted or not prohibitive. You might see both terminology on the test, so just be mindful. Sometimes they like to switch between not permitted or prohibited, so they could also switch that up, but they mean the same thing. It means that an action is not allowed. So you'll often see the little U-turn symbol in there saying no U-turns, but it could mean anything. No left-hand turns, no right-hand turns, no parking. There could be a P in there. So these are the main classifications of shapes and colors, but within these, it'll have more detail. Whatever image or letter or arrow is inside that sign will tell you if it's permitted or not permitted, or if you're in a school zone or a lane change. That's what but these are the main 6, like you said. And then there's those additional ones. The brown ones are about like provincial parks, and the green ones are about destinations and details. But these ones, these 6 right here, are the legal requirements that you must follow and are very, very important to know on your knowledge test and just for driving. So the next one is the green circle, which obviously means the action is permitted. So you definitely need to pay attention to these ones so that you know that what your action is doing is the right thing. You are allowed to turn, you are allowed to park here, those things, because they also get enforced. If you are found doing a driver infraction and not following those laws or those posted signs, that's when you get a ticket. You know, when it says no parking, especially downtown, you see a bunch of those no parking at certain hours or during the day in front of businesses, and manage the flow of traffic. So the next one is the regulatory sign. And that's, right now it's just white, but you'll never see just a plain white one. You'll see something in it. Usually those are speed signs on them. That shows you the speed limit within that area. And we'll go into more detail of different speed limits and in what areas. School zone or a school area, that is the yellow, or it could be green sometimes, depends, fluorescent yellow or fluorescent green background with the pentagon shape or like a little house. So those, if you see those, you are entering into a school zone. And be prepared for school zone crossings or children playing. They also use these for playground zones. So you'll see a little more, you'll see some more examples around those school zones, but those will always be a school or children present. The lane use designation, or like you said, lane control, these are always going to be black signs, and it tells you if you're allowed to go straight, if you're allowed to turn, and you always want to pay attention to those signs. They will usually come up quite well in advance. They will be there in the intersection, but they usually come up a little sooner so that drivers can prepare to enter into the lane that they need to well in advance, so you're not, you know, grabbing yourself in there, so that you have enough time if you need to move over into the proper lane for where you're going, you have time to do that, and you can plan that out and make your lane change in a safe manner. And then construction warning signs. These provide information about a construction area. So it's usually not just a simple construction zone. There's usually a lot more to it. It'll say if there's workers present. It'll often say what kind of work is being done, whether it's like rough road ahead, or you know, a lane is getting reduced into one. If there's active moving vehicles all over the place. So all those construction signs are always going to be orange, but within them are going to tell you details of what is going on within that construction area. And it's really important, especially if, like, they say there's loose pavement. There's one that you'll see where it's like solid, and then a bunch of rocks. Those are important to know to protect your windshield, right? You wouldn't want to be hidden into that rough road at full speed or anything like that. You might even want to slow down even lower than the speed limit to avoid, you know, potentially skidding your vehicle or having any rocks kick up and hit your windshield. That happens a lot here in Alberta. We have a lot of construction, you know, the joke, we have 2 seasons, winter and construction. So you're definitely going to come across construction signs in your times on the road. That's just a reality here in Edmonton and Alberta. We always have a lot of construction during the summer months because we only have a limited summer. We only have a limited number of days that are really good weather to do this type of construction, like concrete pouring and things like that. So they utilize all those construction times as much as they can when we do have the good weather.